on the China question. I mean, as we're dealing with the threats of Russia, we know that you've also been doing these tours to Africa and South America in terms of promoting the Build Back Better world to counter the Belt and Road Initiative. Can you share a little bit the level of interest to this program from the countries that you visited, and why has there been a holdup? Because the promise was that it will be launched early this year.
Yeah, I'll say there's been enormous enthusiasm in every country we visited: Ecuador, Colombia, Panama, Ghana, Senegal, the DRC, parts of the Middle East, Indonesia, Thailand, and other parts of the world. And the reason there's so much enthusiasm is that countries do want a choice. For a long time, China has been the only game in town for many of these countries. And in many cases, they have buyer's regret. The loans that have been made to these countries have often been very opaque. They have non-disclosure agreements. They have termination clauses. They have confiscatory collateral arrangements. They're extractive in many cases. In the DRC, for example, this is a country that's rich in minerals, over $20 trillion in critical minerals, but they've not seen the schools, the roads, the hospitals, the bridges they were promised. And so we're offering a different way with, as I say, high standards for transparency, inclusivity, development impact, local development impact, and very, very strong attention to the labor market impacts and environmental standards. And, so we're mobilizing along with our G7 partners, and we are going to launch early this year. You should see very soon a list of flagship projects that will exemplify exactly what Build Back Better World is all about.
Jackie? Thank you. Can you clarify, is removing Russia from the SWIFT international banking system part of the financial sanctions package?
Well, all options remain on the table, but it's probably not going to be the case that you'll see SWIFT in the initial rollout package. We have other severe measures we can take that our allies and partners are ready to take in lockstep with us, and that don't have the same spillover effects. But we always will monitor these options, and we'll revise our judgments as time goes on.
I thought you guys had said you were going to start at the maximum, that it wouldn't be like a ramping up of sanctions.
I can assure you the measures that we have prepared, the severity of those measures, and the institutions that we would impose them upon, and the immediacy of those sanctions are among the most severe financial sanctions that have ever been contemplated.
Josh, give me the last one.
On the sanctions, if they're as severe as you say, how do you protect against the risk that Russia's economy becomes stitched even tighter with China or others who might be able to avoid what the U.S. is doing?
So you can look at this question from both perspectives. From Russia's perspective, if it wants to sequester itself from Western economies, Western technology, and Western capital markets, and try to substitute China for all that we provide, that's a very bad miscalculation. The G7 alone represents more than 50% of the global economy. China's 15%. If you look at the dollar, the euro, the British pound, and the yen, these are the dominant reserve currencies of the world. It's how the world makes payments, it's how it saves money, it's how the world borrows money. The renminbi share on these metrics is in the low single digits. And if you think about the foundational technologies of our time, they are, in almost all cases, designed or produced by the West and open societies where innovation and entrepreneurship flourish. So there is, I don't think, any question that China could not be a substitute for all the West provides. Now, for China's part, if it decides to give tacit or explicit accommodation to the invasion of a sovereign nation in the heart of Europe, that would be a very bad signal for its vision of the world. The reputational effects it would have in Europe would be profound. The signals it would send all across the world about its willingness to accommodate coercion and force and aggression would have very long-lasting effects. And let's be real. The Russian economy is 1/10 the size of the EU, 1/15 the size of the US economy. So China may want Russia as its junior partner for cheap gas or cheap oil, but let's not pretend it's anything else.
Thank you both so much. Appreciate it. I think we have to wrap it up because they have to head back and do some work. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.